The Wood Stove Sessions are brought to you by Kinden's Bakery, located at 151 Main Street, Lewisport, Newfoundland. By Music NL, motivated by a vision of music cultivated at home and celebrated everywhere. Le Gabotour, Newfoundland and Labrador's French language newspaper. And the Citadel House, where music comes to be heard. All right, we're here at the Wood Stove Sessions for the interview with Darcy Scott. You're in the hot seat. It's not quite as hot as it's going to be.
No, sir.
This is great. Thank you so much for doing this, for coming down, being
Cheers.
Cheers. Being part of the first year of our Wood Stove Sessions.
Happy
Hopefully
to be here.
many.
Yes.
Many more. So we've known each other for a while now. And so I'm going to ask you some things that I think, like, there's some interesting things that you've done that I think that are different from a lot of people, say, starting 10 or 15 years ago. Like, you went in the CNA program, right? The
Yes,
College of
yes,
the North Atlantic?
Yeah. I was there did the 2-year applied music program. I graduated last June, so almost a year ago.
Excellent. So you found that it was a good program?
Oh, it was great. I think the connections I made were very, very valuable, and the industry side, the expertise that I kind of picked up through that. It was great.
So you did connections. Did you do, like, I know Michelle had people there were a lot of people from CNA program at the last ECMAs.
Yeah.
Did you do something similar like that?
No, I was very lucky that, through the years I've been able to kind of get in and get performance opportunities and kind of be a part of that. And I've been, performing and doing a lot of this and hitting stages since about 2016.
Yeah.
Starting off as a drummer, but the singer-songwriter side of me was, started around 2019, 2020, just post-COVID. And I've been lucky to kind of get into some of those stages and get those opportunities early on, which has been really good.
So one of the things I noted, and I think that kind of sets you and a couple of people that you worked with at the time, like Mackenzie and Madeline, is that you guys did, you booked your own shows.
Yes.
Sold your own tickets in a ticketed event, as well as doing stuff on George Street, which is like in the bar scene in Newfoundland. I think that's not just an interesting thing. That's in my opinion the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, what's got you started making that decision? Because it seems to me that it was very different than a lot of the people who worked in St. John's.
Well, I think too, like, the industry is, it's a big part of what this is, and I feel like you learning how to navigate through it yourself will only set you up for success further down the line when, third-party people want to come in and, book your tours. You have some sort of appreciation for what goes into it.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people get into it and, you don't know, you just get this team and get all these people around you right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And they don't appreciate how much work actually goes on.
Yeah.
So I think doing it ourselves, you learn the do's and don'ts. You learn the true value of hard work as a musician. I was talking to some people last night in Swillingate, and just sending the email, you'd be surprised how many people don't even message you back when you're booking venues.
Oh, yeah.
You send 100 emails, and 10 people message you back. That's pretty good. Those are 10 shows potentially. 10 new doors that you can kind of wiggle your way in. So I think, the average return rate on that is only like 5%. So 10 people do. You're a very, very lucky person.
Yep.
And I think, you just appreciate the value of it a little bit more when you put the work in yourself. And it's definitely benefited me a tremendous amount. All the people I work with, we all do it together. And it's a great network of people you can bounce stuff off. Everyone wants the best for each other here, which is the best.
Like, at some point, theoretically, as the career progresses, you're going to bring in, you're going to need a booking agent, you're going to need management, but knowing what those jobs, what's the definition for those jobs?
Know what you're signing up for before you go in.
Yeah.
And I feel like, everyone tells me, when the work gets too hard for you to do yourself, then bring someone in for, 15% cut. But until then, like, if you, sending emails, it takes time. You got to treat it like a job. You do it. But I think I think that's the thing. Like when the work gets a little bit too hard, and you're like, okay, I'm balancing a million things. I have all these tabs open, and it's
Yeah.
starting to get a little bit hectic. Then that's when you're ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't think I think you kind of got to build up the blocks yourself first.
Well, yeah, you can't really. There's so many. It seems to me that there's so many things that if you're going to give away 15% right out of the door, it's hard for someone else to like. It's hard for an agent to do their job because they don't
know
know who you are and you don't have a brand, right? Whereas now you've built up the Christmas show that you have been doing. I think you were selling 100 seaters 3 times.
This past year we did like 200 and it sold out in like 2 weeks, which is
wow. So you see,
it was great. It keeps building, and I took the lead on that now, and I keep bringing some of my friends back that are within the industry and kind of been in front of this audience before, because there's not a whole lot of music that goes on. So I'm from Conception Bay South. There's not a whole lot that really goes on in Conception Bay South. We have a couple of venues, but really everybody's kind of driving to town.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been that's the tale as old as time. But I think bringing music, especially where I'm from in that community, I have a very good connection with the community. I've worked jobs with the town. I know lots of people now.
Okay.
So to put off a show, at this space every year, they're really good to me.
You go back to the same room?
Same room, yeah. There's a church just down the road.
Oh, right.
They have a great built-in sound system now, which is really good. We just have to rent some, additional lights and kind of set it up and make it look like a concert venue rather than a church.
Yep.
But doing that yourself, going down to the venue early and figuring out what light placement's the best and what looks good where,
Yep.
It's still me and my family, and we're all doing that.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
really
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
And I think you have, as you say, you have to do that at the level you're at.
Yeah.
And then it'll give you a building block to move to the next step. It seems very smart over the long term. You always have an audience. I think it was Fergus said they always used to go through about 20 places in New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Anytime they left the island, they always tried to go back through those places because they said that was a steady audience, steady income, very stable for them. They built it up over the years, and they wanted to serve it because it had benefited their career, and they always wanted to have it available to them.
Yeah,
right.
It's the best way to do it.
So building the audience. But you know what? I don't see a lot of it because it does take time. It is work, right? Yeah. And you got to think 50 years in this business, right?
Yeah.
What is it? It takes 20 years to become an overnight success.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. It's that's what I say. I say I'm self-made with lots of help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's it.
So you've done CNA. What have you done what have you been doing in this last year?
So
You're
I'm
writing?
Working on a record right now. So I signed with Silly Cove Records.
Yeah.
And I'm working with Greg. I spent a little bit of time in Los Angeles this year.
Yeah.
And that was cool. We laid out a plan. Got some tunes off the ground. And I don't know when this is going to air, but I think the first single off this new project, you can expect that in the fall.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So get some new music out. I released my first EP in 2023.
Right.
That surprised me on the local scale. People really seem to pick up on a couple tracks.
Yeah.
And I think this next collection of songs is going to be really special. I'm really proud of it, and they're all pretty new, and it feels like more of a coming of age album, where it kind of has similar themes kind of woven throughout. Yeah.
So what kind of themes are we looking at?
I think just the idea of growing up and having to navigate your way throughout your early 20s. Yeah, we were set up for failure. I've had a couple long-term relationships that really changed the way I kind of look at life.
Yeah.
Just, also being a musician, like a lot of my playing is downtown and kind of surrounded by that nightlife, and really you kind of learn the reason why you're doing this whole thing to begin with, And I think that was a real eye-opener. So there's a lot of themes about, how to deal with addiction, and I personally haven't dealt with anything, but you're around the scene
see it.
the alcoholic. Most of my gigs don't start till like 10 at night when I'm
Yep.
playing George Street, and you got to stay around till 2 in the morning, and you see this kind of shift from that early crowd to that late crowd, and really
Yeah.
what's there. And it was an eye opener. It really showed me why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it's definitely the connection with the people, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's some themes on that as well.
We used to play 6 nights in the same place.
Yeah.
And then move to the next town.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed there was always somebody who would come up to us on Wednesday night and say, "You guys are way better than the band that was here last night." It's like,
They don't even, yeah.
they don't, it's like,
There's
it's
that,
like,
there's an
dude.
there's an old joke too. Like, I mean, all these gigs, you know, I write every single day, like whether it's something, whether it's a piece of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily aim for a song every day because, you know, I hate people that are like, oh, I sit down and write a song every day.
Yeah.
Sure. Good for you. Do you want a sticker? Okay, fine. And I mean, I'm no shame, but it's like you just write when it comes to you, and I'm still trying to actively get better as a writer. You're singing other people's music downtown,
Yep.
which is great. You know, why do people grab on to certain songs, you know, cover songs so well? And then I go home and I reflect on that. I'm like, man, when I sang this song, like we were louder than Confusion, the crowd upstairs. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And they got
Yeah.
a DJ and subwoofers, and it's me and my acoustic guitar, and they're screaming this song so loud. I'm like, okay, why is that? How can I try to incorporate some element of that into my
Yeah.
own thing? You know, I
Yeah.
think that's cool. But there's this old joke about like going playing music, especially trying to do your own music downtown. People come up to you and they're like, "Oh man, quit playing them made up songs."
Made up songs.
Made
yeah.
up songs.
Yeah, we don't like them made up songs.
We
right?
don't like them. No.
No.
And I think it's yeah, it's like, man, what do you think Wagon Wheel just dropped in somebody's lap one day?
Yeah.
It's like a big stork just like flew over and just like song.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I suppose you can do. There's people who make their living doing cover work.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but it's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
When you talk about a music career as an artist,
It is, yeah.
you have to believe that you've got something to offer.
Yep.
And you practice to become better at that skill.
Yeah.
Right. Of communicating that.
It is, yeah.
Right. And it is interesting to think about, like, what is it that makes this song work when this one didn't go over quite as well?
Yeah. I think music is really rooted in place. I
Yeah.
don't know what that is, but I think the songs that I grab onto the most is like from the first line. You have, you know, one line to get people to feel what you feel. I think that's the best music, in my opinion, is rooted in place.
Yeah.
I don't know really what that means or where that is, but like, you know, you're there, you're somewhere.
Someone,
Where are you?
I heard a fellow describe it as music it's an art form that becomes an emotional glue. It ties you to a place, it ties you to a time.
Yeah.
So every single time you hear that piece of music, you're connected back to that time period.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's good, like a good time period. Sometimes it's bad, but it's an emotional connection,
100%.
right? And if it's not doing that for people, then you've lost the plot.
And I
really.
think folk music as well is, you know, I love folk music. I write folk music. I think when it comes from that, like, you know, folk music doesn't come from the top. It comes from the bottom. You know, it's the music of the people. It's the stories passed on. So I think you just gotta, if you can't communicate that well, I think that's when you start to lose people.
Yes. Well, yeah. If you ever had them, right? Because people have got to feel that you're telling their story.
100%.
They can understand it, right? It might not be exactly as they are, but
I was writing with this one gentleman out of Hamilton, and he'd done the Nashville, you know, thing before.
Yeah.
And he was writing with this guy who had, you know, a lot of big cuts in the 90s for country music.
Yeah.
And they were sitting down and they were stuck, right? And he said, "All right, Jim, what are you trying to say?" And he said, "Oh, this, you know, this line." And then as he was doing it, this guy put his head down and he wrote exactly word for word what he said. He said, "Okay, that's the lyric. Don't overthink it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I think Terry Penny said, well, it's a common saying, especially country, three chords and the truth, right?
That's it.
Say it exactly what you're talking about. If you were thinking about where you want to be in 5 years, Like, what would you like to be doing?
So get this record off the ground. I really want to, break into the Atlantic Canadian market a little bit more,
Okay.
and expand. I've, through industry conferences and stuff like that, made a lot of great connections. Signed on to some publishing earlier this fall. So I've met and written with lots of artists all over the East Coast. I think that's the next step for me, is to kind of, again, make it sustainable, that I can travel to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, have my venues that I play. Whether that is start off, break in by hopping on a bill with somebody who has their fan base there.
Yeah.
And then trying to win over that fan base. And then make it to a point where I can go back, 4 years down the line.
Yeah.
And those people come out to hear my show.
Yep.
And then I could take another up and comer
along
with me. And then just, eventually try to work into that. So I think it's just, that sort of take and give. You get something from somebody, and you can get this into this new market, and I guess giving back and giving someone else that opportunity. And I think that's the way the industry should work.
In people who are intentional about it, I think that is how it works, right? But you can be either intentional or subconsciously not do that by not including people, or you can intentionally decide that this is part of what I'm doing. I'm going to act as an like I'm in a position to be aspirational. Like if somebody's at the ECMA's Gordy Sampson, for example, wrote a songwriter, works in Nashville now. He's from a community of 600 people,
Cape Breton.
Mabu, Cape Breton. He's graduated from the ECMAs, but he does come back. He does a songwriters camp, and he also does. Sometimes he does songwriter circles at the ECMAs, and when he comes back, it's in as a mentoring role and as a aspirational, to give back.
So I think that's definitely in the future for me. I'd love to go, help young artists try to light that spark, whatever that is, because I know that kind of coming up through the industry, there was a lot of people that indirectly kind of did that for me.
Yeah.
And I'd love to kind of give back and try to light that spark in a young songwriter's mind, and just whatever it is, try to get those songs out.
Any particular regions that you want? Like you mentioned, Atlantic Canada. Are you interested in? You think your market will do well in places like Europe or the States? I know you had a visit.
I think that's in the horizon for me.
Yeah.
I think if you go across the pond, folk music is also very prominent part of the culture. That's very much rooted in storytelling. You go to places like Ireland and the UK. But I think that I really want to, I think Ontario's another market that I can do really well in. I know, like, even in Southern Ontario, so I self-booked a tour last summer.
Yeah.
So I did like 8 shows in 10 days. It was a lot of go.
Yeah.
My luggage didn't show up for the first show with my
Perfect.
merch. So I wore my great uncle's cargo shorts for the first gig at this college bar in downtown Waterloo, where everybody was like, all stylish, and I was in a Coors Light shirt and cargo shorts.
Yeah. Like one does, right?
Like one does, and I stood out like a sore thumb. But it was nice, and then everything showed up, and then I was like, okay, thank God, thank you, Air Canada. So I'm working on another tour now this summer, just self-booking again, shooting emails to the void. I got a couple real nice anchor dates, like a songwriter circle that I did last year that ended up doing a lot for me and kind of opened up some doors to potentially migrate into the U.S. market at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, but they have a great folk scene. You go down, you have Allura, they have like a folk festival down there.
Yeah.
Fergus, Cambridge, Guelph is a huge folk scene. They have a lot of folk clubs there.
Peterborough, have you gone there?
I haven't, but I think that's on the horizon.
Try it. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have actually played here that they were in Toronto for a while, and then when they kind of like wanted to, they didn't want to live at that level. They moved to Peterborough because they could still gig in Toronto if they wanted to.
I think Toronto's also a market I'd like to get in. I feel like there's a few rooms that, I'd like to share my music. It's a big market.
That's the thing about Southern Ontario. Yeah.
But I think the thing is, like, was talking to this girl from Toronto, Rachel Hickey. She's a songwriter, and she said, like, I always thought that the doors were like locked in Toronto, like no one's getting their foot in. She said, you just got to jiggle the latch.
Oh,
You'll work your way in there.
That's
If you're
cool.
meant to be there, you'll work your way in there. I
Cool.
think that was like a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
You always think, like, especially in Newfoundland, is a really great place to come up
Yeah.
in this industry, just for the sake that, like, we all have each other's back. An artist that has previously done an Atlantic Canadian tour, will be happy to sit down with you and say, these are the do's and don'ts. This is what I think worked really well for me.
Yeah.
That may work for you. And then you can kind of piggyback off a lot of people. And it's really great to
Yeah.
kind of, cut your teeth in this market and really build up your chops and then go to a place like that.
Yeah.
And then you're ready to be there.
I've always thought of Newfoundland in particular, but also the Atlantic region in general,
Yeah.
as it's a bit of an incubator. Like
It's great.
It's a great place to grow.
It's a great place to grow.
Yeah.
And, I think through Music NL and stuff like that, you can build a lot of industry
Yeah.
connections. And I don't think anywhere else in Canada they really have that to the level that we do.
Not to the same degree. It's I know that Breakout West. I've talked to them a bit, but it's over a wider region for one thing, and not particularly more densely populated.
And we get the same people that
Yeah.
go to those conferences
Yeah.
come to our little island, and
Yeah.
we have a fraction of the population,
Yeah.
and we still can have those connections and grow.
Yeah, we have. I'm sure it's bragging, but it seems we punch above our weight too. Like, yes, we have a fraction of the population, but the talent pool's
I think it's
pretty deep. Okay, so collaborations, you working with people, or I know you're working with Greg, but
and so Simba Music,
Okay.
for publishing.
Yep.
Been doing lots with Vince,
mm-hmm.
who's been really, really kind to me, and
Yeah,
got a couple placements so far.
Cool.
Which it's been nice. We kind of indirectly worked with each other for a few years because I wrote a song with Rachel Cousins, who's
oh, there you go.
know,
Yeah,
world class artist,
yeah,
and I has nothing but up for her
yeah,
in this next couple of months.
yeah.
We wrote this like Christmas song back in 2017 or 2018
Okay.
that got landed in a Hallmark Christmas movie. So every quarter, Vince would like send me like my statement because I was tied to that song.
Yeah,
And then we connected again at a Music NL conference and checked out the showcase, and we ended up setting up a little chat
mm-hmm.
after that and kind of got to work together, and it was been great.
Cool.
So that's kind of the team so far. But for collaborations, like I'm always open to writing with whoever.
Yeah.
I think that's open to more genres. Challenge yourself.
Oh, okay. Anything in particular that you?
I mean, I've written some pop songs.
Okay. Don't say it like it's a bad. Some
No. Can I
pop
tell you what
songs.
though? No, I'll tell you what. So hard. People that, because
Yeah.
folk music is like, oh, this is what I'm feeling. I'll say that, and then it's like you go into pop music. Something like, especially my experience is like trying to write the pitch for other people.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which is like, you have a very set box that you can, you got to do as much as you can creatively in this box, because it's like, here's your verse, here's your chorus. You need to have a pre-chorus, post-chorus, bridge, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think like I struggle a lot with melody, and I think the people that do really well in pop writing have like just this insane creativity for melody.
Okay.
I think, like people that can come up, like there's people that I've written with that like will sing lines
Mm-hmm.
and just like it may be gibberish, but the melody, I'm like, oh, see, I would have never came up with that. If I was in my bedroom with a guitar,
Yeah.
if I picked up a guitar right now and you said write a song, guarantee you I'll write the same song every single time. It's like,
Yeah.
I go to the same chords,
Yeah.
and then like the hand does this thing, and then it's kind of like this like whispery sort of like thing that I do because I singing it's scary. So I sing kind of quiet, and then I do like this like finger picking thing, and every now and then like I'm like, oh, maybe I'll like play with a pick,
Yeah.
because maybe that's gonna change what I do. And then I just do the same thing with the pick.
Yeah.
And I just rewrite the same song. And then I think I do something creative, and I'm like, well, Pink Floyd did that in the 70s. So I'm just like, I'm ripping people off, and it sucks, man. So I think getting out of the box, just like
Yeah.
write a straight up country tune, like
Yeah.
just like straight up bare bones country tune.
Yeah.
That's after helping my chops a lot. I think pop music, you kind of, pop music is a lot more show than tell.
Right.
I
Okay.
feel like folk music's very much rooted in the tell, where it's
Yep.
like you want to let people know kind of exactly what's happening. Again, it's the music of the people, so just tell the story how it needs to be told.
Yeah.
Whereas pop music's a little bit more like, oh, this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit more abstract
And let's
and
dance.
a lot more metaphorical. Yeah, and it's like let's throw an 808 under that, and you know, I think
Yep.
that's
Yep.
it. And it's my experience, but I love it. It's good.
I think it's really any way that you can break out of the box, whatever that box
Yeah.
is, and everybody's particular, standards.
Yeah.
You return to those. Everybody has a different one.
Yeah.
And any way that you can get out of it, some people choose a different instrument. Like sitting down at a piano will be different than playing a guitar.
100%.
But you can't write too many on a piano because then they all sound the same. And then, I think any way that you can get that outside of it, that's the challenge. But that's where the good stuff lies too,
100%.
right? Okay,
I love it.
perfect. Thanks so much for doing this. Tell me where people can find out about you.
So social media, Facebook, Instagram, just Darcy Scott Music, all one word, all lowercase. Darcy Scott on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all the musics.
Yeah.
And new music to be released fall 2025. So
Perfect.
stay tuned for that.
Excellent.
And you get all that on the socials.
Perfect. And so you're on the socials too, like Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram. If you're still a website user, I do have a website,
Yep.
darcyscottmusic.com.
The industry uses a website.
The industry uses a website,
Yeah.
and I recently updated my website because I was like going into the ECMAs. I was like, dude, this is a picture of me when I was like, I don't want to expose
This is
myself.
not the one I want to
This
go
is not
into.
the one. I don't even look like that, dude. I had like this like weird little baby face. This,
Yeah.
Little soul patch down here.
Yeah.
Because that's all I could grow when I did this photo shoot. But yeah, website darcyscottmusic.com. I try to keep my shows pretty updated on that.
Cool.
Photos, EPK, all that fun industry stuff.
Perfect, man. Thanks so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.